Jets-Colts.com.
From the Angell Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is accused by team employees of overseeing a toxic and sometimes hostile organization. Allegedly, Sarver has used racially insensitive and lewd language in the office and also displayed inappropriate and misogynistic conduct. The vice chairman of the Suns, Jam Najafi, has released a statement saying that the alleged conduct is unacceptable and that he supports full accountability. For the second day in a row, Browns wideout Odell Beckham Jr. is excused from practice. ESPN's Booger McFarland.
I think when this is all said and done, he's played his last down for the Cleveland Browns. So what are we doing here besides twiddling our thumbs and wasting time? We ultimately know what the inevitability is going to end at. He is not going to be a Brown. So why they didn't trade him at the trade deadline, I have zero idea.
Booger McFarland on Greene. Beckham is unhappy in Cleveland, and the two sides are talking about potential next steps. The Lakers host the Thunder tonight in Los Angeles. LeBron James is out with an abdominal strain. Reds outfielder Nick Castellanos opts out of his contract with the team. He'll become a free agent. He had 2 years and $34 million left on a deal. He's coming off one of the best seasons of his career.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword EASY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's EASY to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Angell Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on this Thursday afternoon. Jeremy's so excited. He gets to see Mike White again tonight.
You said his name wrong. It's Tom Brady 2.0.
We got Thursday Night Football. Jeremy will have his picks at the end of the hour in the Green on Green.
Can't possibly go any worse than last night did. It's not physically possible. I cannot lose more games than I give picks for.
Yeah.
Last night.
You lost them all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Last night's one of those nights that you look at and go, okay, maybe hubris comes shortly before the fall. Because I routinely said, man, these lines are stupid. Well, apparently they weren't.
I feel like there should have been a torture ticket on that one.
Oof.
Oh, we're going to see you eat some crawfish here pretty soon.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you have no idea what we're talking about, then shame on you. You missed the morning show this morning, Sportsocracy, every weekday morning at 10 a.m. And anyway, we are going to get into Thursday Night Football. We'll talk about Mr. Mike White, old White Lightning, Jersey Mike.
It's Jersey Mike.
Tom Brady 2.0, as Jeremy continues to call him.
Best quarterback in the league. No big deal.
College football coaching searches as well. TCU, that's an open job, and apparently there are a whole lot of people who are very interested in that job. Jeremy can't really wrap his head around it, so we'll talk about that coming up. Why is it an intriguing job for some big names in the coaching carousel? Also, Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, will join us here at 4 o'clock as we talk about the Tar Heels matchup coming up this weekend against the undefeated number one team in the ACC, Wake Forest.
Man, that sounds weird. When you say it like that, it just sounds bizarre.
It does, but it's 2021. What are you going to do about it?
Best team in the ACC.
Best team in the ACC. Anyhow, so last week in the NFL, we had the week of the backup quarterback. And, you had Mike White win and Geno Smith and Trevor Siemian doing things for the New Orleans Saints after Jameis Winston went out with the torn ACL. Cooper Rush winning a big one for the Dallas Cowboys.
Old Tom Sawyer himself.
And this week you've got the backup of all backups. Starting for the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love.
And there is no path that this goes well.
No path?
None.
Zero
There's
path.
no path that this goes well.
I'm going to disagree with you, man.
All right, explain it to me.
Okay, he's going up against one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. And he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
How can you say that? You haven't seen him on the field yet in a regular season game other than the mop-up duty against New Orleans in week 1.
Yeah, that's enough. That's really all I needed to see.
In a game they had already given up in, Jordan Love don't have it.
Here's the thing. This is the worst case scenario possible for the Packers. Because now he's coming in on a short week. Mm-hmm. Because this didn't break until yesterday. Now, yesterday was Wednesday. So now you're going to have 2 days of live first-team reps, and you think this is not going to be a disaster. For Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers may have accidentally just given himself the greatest job security in the history of time. Because you're going into a game that will be a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City can still score points.
Mm-hmm.
That Green Bay defense is not particularly good.
Right.
And it's going to get put into some ugly situations by Jordan Love. So you're going to be chasing points with a guy that's had 2 days of first-team reps. How could this possibly go awry?
Oh, come on. He had all that build-up in the preseason where he took all the first-team reps because Aaron Rodgers wasn't around.
If I had $1 for every quarterback that's gotten hype because of the preseason,
yeah,
I would be a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
This is worst-case scenario for Green Bay because now you're going to lose all the leverage. As long as Jordan Love was that mysterious, nobody's seen it, Aaron Rodgers could still, in his head, there would have to be a line of, eventually they're going to tell me to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as soon as you see Jordan Love, it's almost like Schrodinger's cat. There's an old scientific theory about Schrodinger's cat, and there's a cat in a box. Mm-hmm. And until you open the lid on the box, the cat could either be alive or dead.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the exact same way about Jordan Love. Because for every time you tell me, oh, this could go so well, Kansas City's defense is so bad,
mm-hmm.
and they took him in the first round. Yeah, as somebody that watched hours upon hours of Jordan Love college tape, this is going to be a disaster. And you're about to open this box and find that, well, there's not a very good quarterback in that box.
Give us your projection.
For Jordan Love?
Yeah, projection for Jordan Love against the Kansas City defense.
If he doesn't get picked off twice, I'll be shocked.
Okay.
Because you got a coordinator here in Steve Spagnuolo that, this defense is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Spagnuolo still has Super Bowl rings. He's still a sharp guy. And you know what happens to quarterbacks that come from the WAC and then they play as the backup and there's really no expectation, you're not getting first-team reps? You know what happens when you slide into an NFL game?
What's that?
Real quick, they go, man, everybody out here is way faster than I remember.
Right.
That's all you have to do. All you have to do is throw things at him that you don't think he's prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath flat coverage. And get him to not trust what he's seeing. And then it all comes tumbling after.
Right.
I've been asked multiple times, what do you think is going to happen to Aaron Rodgers? And I know other shows have been talking about this. Sorry, that's not what we do.
What do you think's going to happen?
What I think is going to happen, I think 10 days from now, he's going to walk back in the building and they're going to go, thank God you're back.
Yeah.
We missed you a lot. Oh, you're not mad that I lied? Nope, because we knew.
Yeah.
The NFL will sanction the Packers, and nothing else is going to happen.
Aaron Rodgers lied. That is the dumbest thing that I have heard or read over the last 2 days. Aaron Rodgers lied to us. He said that he was immunized, and we all thought he meant vaccinated. Well, okay. Well, that's your fault.
I mean, you can say whatever you want to.
Because for every article that's out there about, Aaron Rodgers misled the Packers and misled the NFL and misled the public and misled the media, there's another article that says everybody knew this. He even petitioned the league because he did some kind of home
Holistic.
remedy. Yeah, he did some kind of a holistic immunization process and tried to get the league to get on board with it and say, yeah, that's good enough. That's equal to a vaccination. And what did the league say? No,
it's not.
The league said no, and they've been treating him like he's an unvaccinated player all this time. Now, on the other hand, he hasn't been following the protocols, and it appears that no one cared because everybody
he wasn't and now you're being a little disingenuous there, because allegedly he was following all the protocols behind closed doors, all the things that you don't have tape to prove that he wasn't. He just wasn't wearing, when he did press conferences, he apparently didn't want to wear the mask because he didn't,
and that's not following the protocol.
Well, and that's fine.
And that's on the Packers.
And the Packers are going to pay a fine.
Well, sure they will.
And nobody's going to care.
Exactly.
That'll be one of those little AP stories that breaks, and we all go, oh, yeah. They fined the Packers for Aaron Rodgers. You remember that?
Right.
Okay. That's the extent of that.
Yeah. Here we go. Moving on. Why is he not wearing why is he not wearing his mask on the sidelines? It's because he was playing. The NFL protocols actually state that if you are in uniform and you are playing in the game, despite if you're vaccinated or not, you don't have to wear the mask.
Yeah, that's not a violation.
If you're on the sideline and you're not playing in the game, that's when you have to wear the mask. As soon as I read up on this and I saw everybody throwing out this, Aaron Rodgers lied to everybody, I did the old school reporter thing. Went and gathered a whole bunch of information from a lot of different sources. Guess what? Lo and behold, it comes out that everybody knew. I mean, the public might not have known. The media may not have known.
And here's
the
the
media
thing.
and the Green Bay media probably assumed that he was vaccinated because of the immunized thing, and because he didn't have to follow the protocols that other non-vaccinated players have to follow with their press conferences. So they all thought, well, everybody's on board here. Guess what? Sorry about your luck, but guess what? You don't deserve the right to know, media.
Yeah, and we are media. And guess what?
Don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
You didn't lie. And you know why? Because we didn't ask. It is what it is.
Right.
And I have literally heard sports shows go round and round. Oh, is this? I don't care. It is none of my business what he does. If the Packers are mad, they're entitled to be mad. But at the end of the day, you're the ones that did it. So, you want to know why we don't talk about things like, do you hear how monotonous this whole 2 minutes has been? Because nobody cares. You're going to do what you're going to do. Nothing that we're going to say. We can sit here and get as angry about Aaron Rodgers and, he's a liar and, it's the worst thing. And you know what that's going to change? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not one thing.
Right.
It will not change one iota of an anything. But now, as sports guys,
because
here's what we talk about. We talk about how is this going to affect the product on the field, and you're
going to find out
because it's going to be terrible, and it's going to have ramifications.
I don't know that it's going to be as terrible as you think.
Explain to me how it's not.
Okay, if I'm Matt LaFleur and I now know that I have to trot Jordan Love out there as my starting quarterback, I'm not going for Blake Bortles. That's an emergency situation. He's not going to whatever. I'm going to treat this like Kevin Stefanski treats Baker Mayfield. I'm going to limit every opportunity I possibly can to have him screw this game up for us.
And here's where that becomes a problem. I'll put 7 in the box and go, Aaron Jones is not beating me. Devontae Adams. I'll go one-on-one with Devontae Adams. You know why? Because I'm not scared you can get him the ball. He can run every great route in the world.
It's not like he doesn't have an arm, though.
No, but he makes very bad decisions. I went back yesterday and looked at my draft profile on Jordan Love. And without, going too deep diving, it was basically, he's got a great arm. His arm's fantastic. He threw double-digit interceptions in the whack.
Yes.
Do you think he got better just sitting around on the bench? You think his decision-making got better? Really? Because I don't. And so now you're thrust into this, which is absolutely the worst case scenario. And you know what it tells me? You know what my overreaching take on all this was?
What's that?
There's no shot Aaron Rodgers is not the quarterback of this team next year.
No.
None.
No.
Because now you get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do see it, you're going to see exactly why Green Bay brought in Randall Cobb and exactly why Green Bay did everything that Aaron asked. Because they know. They've told you. They've told you the answer to this question. Whether you want to listen or not, totally up to you.
Mm-hmm.
They've told you the answer to this. Aaron Rodgers has become one of the most kooky individuals in the world. And you know what they did? Oh, Aaron, you want Randall Cobb, but we don't think he's very good and he doesn't fit in Matt LaFleur's offense. Yeah, well, I want him. Cool, go get him.
And if anything, he could play back. He could play quarterback.
And Matt LaFleur, you're going to need to figure this out. Oh, I will. I don't know where you would find a prop like this.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a prop bet somewhere, number of passes Randall Cobb throws this week, it would be half of a pass. I would bet anything under the sun that number is above 1.
That Randall Cobb throws more than one pass?
I would that he throws at least 1.
Yeah.
Because they're going to pull out every stop because you have to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep up. And this is the narrative that, oh, look at the backups and Mike White. Let me be really honest with you about Mike White, okay? I'm a Jets fan, and I've had a lot of fun with Tom Brady 2.0, and it only took him one game to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
He's still not a good NFL quarterback. He was average at best. Oh, he threw for 400 yards. Yeah, and that's why I don't care about yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was an average quarterback that made 2 horrendously bad decisions. Backup quarterbacks in this league are backups for a reason. And Jordan Love is not even a particularly good backup. So now you go into a game that's going to be high scoring. I don't remember what the over-under on this game is, but I promise you it's over 50.
Okay.
I'm actually going to look it up right now because I promise you it's over 50.
All right.
Unless it just got it got grossly bet down when Jordan Love. Whew. It went from 54 to 48 in a day.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you?
They know the offense is going to be loaded.
Vegas is going, this is going to end badly.
Yeah, they know that the offense is going to be lacking in a big way. And I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying Jordan Love has a chance to come out against the Kansas City Chiefs and be, Mike White from last week throws for 500 or 400 yards and 3 touchdowns or whatever it was that he threw for. Like, all I'm saying is, against this defense, we might take a couple of shots during the game, but for the most part, it's going to be the Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon show.
And that won't work because all I have to do is stack 7 in the box, and you don't block particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty of this is that Aaron always keeps you on your toes because he could pop you at any given time. What was the line on this game before Aaron Rodgers went out?
Had to be Green Bay minus 6.5.
You were wrong at Green Bay. It was a pick 'em.
Really?
What's the line now?
Kansas City minus 4.
Kansas City minus 7.5.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Rodgers was worth a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
There are not many players in this league that are worth a touchdown.
Right.
But he is. And now this is going to go terribly sideways. We have a comment on our YouTube stream about Henry Ruggs with him being gone.
Mm-hmm.
How did that not move the line? Because there's probably not 5 players in the NFL that don't play quarterback that will move a line even half a point.
Mm-hmm.
Solely because it doesn't matter. But then you see a quarterback, the level of Aaron Rodgers, going down just to Jordan Love.
Right.
First-round pick.
Right.
Moved it by a full touchdown. And I got news for you. It's going to move more.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a double-digit spread in places before this game kicks off. And I'll still take Kansas City. I don't care if you told me this was Kansas City minus 13.5.
Really?
All the way in. Because they are going to get smoked. This is the definition of what people like me, whether you want to call us gamblers, degenerates, whatever words you want to use for us.
Right.
This is one of those things where we look at it and go, you can't move that number enough. There's nothing you can do that will take me off of this. Because you took absolutely the engine out of the car. Mm-hmm. And so now, it's a pretty car. It's got leather seats. Aaron Jones, he's leather seats.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams, he's a moonroof. There's no engine in the car. I don't care. It's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's a glorified hood ornament at this point. It's a door stopper. And that's how this is going to go.
You're in the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And welcome everybody into the Sportsocracy, by the way. Yeah, check us out on the YouTube stream. You can join the comment section as well. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button on the YouTube stream. And, so backup quarterbacks, very, very important. Last week was the weekend of the backup quarterback. But who has the advantage? Who has the advantage in the NFL as far as backup quarterbacks are concerned? We'll talk about that coming up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Freeze and frost alerts up for the area, and we're talking about some 20s. Nighttime low temps Friday night and Saturday night. Record cold around 20. We won't be that cold, thankfully, but well below freezing here tomorrow night and Saturday night, and we're below freezing tonight in the mountains. 34 degrees, most of the precip moving on southeast and away from us. We'll keep some clouds Friday, high 54, low 28. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Avoid the gridlock of having to sort through hundreds of resumes to find great people. Indeed's hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. To find your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/credit.
Avid golfer Cam Warren played with joint pain for as long as he could.
Couldn't play golf for any extended period of time without braces and pain and chewing Advil for the entire day.
Then he turned to steroids.
Cortisone would last a few months, but it just inevitably came right back. Got to the point where I would have to wear ice packs to bed.
When the word surgery came up, Cam started looking elsewhere, and he found QC Kinetics. Natural biologic therapies, regenerative treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue. With no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. And now,
very proud to say that it has definitely changed my life. I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything is great.
Call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 333-9517.
Whoa! Over the train tracks, it's 3-0 Atlanta.
Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions!
We are the home of the Braves, ESPN Asheville.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
The sounds of the holidays are in the air. Jingle bells, wrapping paper, maybe some ho-ho-hos. But at the Home Depot, we also love the sounds of you making the holiday magic happen. Things like ovens baking, turkeys roasting, drinks chilling, air fryers frying, washing machines washing, and your family in the middle of it all. Right now, it's the best time to save on the appliances you need to make the holidays yours. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Right you are.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. This hour of the program, as always, brought to you by Angell's. Low prices, love the savings. Don't forget, at your local Angell's store today, you can pick up tickets for the Asheville Championship.
We will be there next Friday.
We will. We will be there next Friday doing our show live from the Harris-Cherokee Center, Asheville, from 3 to 5. We will also be broadcasting all of the games here on ESPN Asheville. Both sessions, the Friday session on the 12th and then the Sunday session on the 14th. You can get your tickets today at Angell's Markets. Now, backup quarterbacks, very important in the NFL, as last week showed. Mike White comes in, very surprisingly, and old White Lightning, 405 passing yards.
I really want to be wrong about this, but I have a funny feeling his stat line is going to look like target practice tomorrow.
What do you mean?
I just find it funny how much people overreact.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a kid you've got tape on, and it's a short week.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to think that the Jets are going to come out and look really good, but I don't know that they will. It tells me everything I need to know that Vegas said this is a 14-point spread to start with.
Mm-hmm. It's been bet down because the Jets beat the Cincinnati Bengals last week.
It's also been bet down because the Colts are just flat out not good.
Not good?
They're not a good football team.
I mean,
they're not good. You can try to defend them all you want to. They're not good. Carson Wentz is not good. They have a receiver at this point. It's Michael Pittman and what? Zach Pascal. I'm good. The defense is okay, especially in the front seven. But there's just not a lot to like. I mean, I'll be picking this game in the next segment. You'll see exactly how I feel like this is going to go.
Yeah. I guess I like them a little bit better than you do. I'm not burying them. I think they're by far the better team in tonight's matchup.
Tank kind of likes a team and is being nice to them. Who's shocked? Captain participation trophies being nice to somebody.
Stop that.
I've always said
participation
I've always said if you had been a teacher and I could have taken your class, my GPA would have been a lot higher.
Maybe.
Oh, you tried. Let's give you a C. There's a drool stain on the top of this.
I find it funny coming from the guy who was like, oh, yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz, you agree, he's been playing better the last, 6 weeks?
And they just lost solely because of him.
Okay.
Solely because of him. Oh, he played better against the Ravens. Yeah. Okay.
What? That counts for something.
They're still not good. That team's still not good. They're inconsistent. This is short week. I am trying my best to not tip off what it is that I'm going to say in the next segment.
He'll have your green on green picks of the night coming up in the next segment, of course, right here on ESPN Asheville. Look, I'm not saying the Indianapolis Colts are a great team, but I do agree with you. We're going way overboard on this whole Mike White thing. It was a whole article David Carr wrote today on NFL.com that was talking about Mike White. And he was like, I love the kid. And there's something to be said for having a guy who's got locker room experience. Because Mike White's been in the league for 4 years. He's been watching starting quarterbacks prepare for games for 4 years. There's something to be said for that. He wrote that he wishes when he came into the league as the number one pick of the Houston Texans back in 2002 that he wishes he wouldn't have had to start immediately because he didn't get that experience.
Well, and because his line looked strikingly like me, you, and 3 dudes that looked exactly like us.
Right. But he's saying as somebody who hasn't had that experience, I mean, that might be a big reason why Mike White did what he did last week.
The reason that Mike White did what he did last week is very simple. And it's very much the reason that that we started this show with my derision on what's going to happen to Jordan Love. And there are a couple other situations in this league that I think play into this. One of them's in Arizona.
Yeah.
To me, there is no reason for Kyler Murray to play this week at all. You know why?
Why?
Because you have Colt McCoy sitting behind him, who's been in the NFL, and he knows what it takes, and he's done this plenty of times. And there's one other element that Jordan Love doesn't have. We'll tell you what it is after Just a Bit Outside.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
All right, there's a big uproar in Englewood, California over a, quote, classless move that was made by one high school last Friday night. It was Englewood High School against Morningside High School. Englewood has one of the best quarterbacks in the state. He's already committed to go to UCLA. They were the far superior team, and when they played Morningside High School, they showed it. They were up 59-0 at halftime. The game ended with Englewood coming out on top, 106 to zilch. Yes. That has sparked an investigation by the Englewood County Schools, or whatever the association is that they play for. They're doing an investigation to find out why this happened and why the UCLA commit star quarterback was on the field for the entire game. And not only was he out there for the entire game, but they also went for two when they were up 104-0. And he threw a 2-point conversion.
Hey, I can sympathize with that. In our open, you hear about a game where I played against Steph Curry. I did, and I had 6 points.
Yeah.
We lost 100-12, and they put the starters back in with 2 minutes. By the way, they full court presses the entire game, and they put the starters back in with 2 minutes left to break 100. And guess what? I have no problem with that.
None at all?
None. I have no problem with that. Maybe it's the old school in me. But if you want to stop me, stop me.
Now, come on. There comes a point in every game.
The only thing you've said so far that I had a problem with was the going for two.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
The going for two is, okay, now you're just being a jerk.
Right. You're up 104-0, and now you go for two? Why? What possible reason could you have to go for two?
Well, I mean, that's a very good lesson in life. In life, they will never just look at the world will never look at you and go, "We've done enough." If you need proof positive of that, look at my 20s.
Right. I don't know. Look, as much as Jeremy likes to say it, I'm not the participation trophy guy. However, I am a sportsmanship guy, and this is not sportsmanship.
You're a little bit of a participation trophy. You're way more participation trophy than I am.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
There's probably not 5 people in this city that are less participation trophy than I am.
Exactly. I'm just a little lighter shade of competition than you are.
Look, I never willfully tried to embarrass anybody.
And this is exactly what this is.
And see, that's where I have the problem, is the 2-point conversion. Yeah. You want to keep scoring points? You want to leave the starters in? That's fine. I have no idea what's behind this kid. Their backup quarterback might be their kicker.
What does it matter if you're up 100-0?
Well, if it's what I just said, it's very simple. You can't risk getting your kicker hurt. I'll be honest with you.
What you're saying.
Some of the things I've seen, there are high school football teams out there that have like 25 players.
Right.
Now, do I think that's the situation here?
No.
I doubt it.
It's Englewood, California. I'm pretty sure they've got some good athletes on that team.
Yeah. They may not have a lot
They
of
may
them,
not.
though.
They may not. But at that point, I mean, you could throw in the third-string left tackle and have him start throwing balls. It does not matter at that point. You left your UCLA commit quarterback in for the entire game and had him go for two, up 104-0.
And I had no problem with that until you said went for two.
It is absolutely classless.
That part is, I would agree. That part is classless.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that in this investigation, the coach is probably going to lose his job. Because there is a massive.
That's not
come on.
That's not going to happen.
No, there is a massive outcry in the community about this. And I'm pretty sure that's a move that could definitely get a coach fired.
And no, it's not. Well, in the world we currently live in, you might be right.
Thank you.
You want to know why?
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's how the world works.
You want to know why I talk for a living and don't do these things anymore? Because there would be a lot of people that had outcries about me too.
Right.
Speaking of outcries, there was an outcry from the Boston Celtics after a horrible, just fall apart fourth quarter against the Chicago Bulls, which led point guard Marcus Smart to come out and say, basically that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to learn to, pass the ball. Well, this led to a players-only meeting before last night's 92-79 win over the Orlando Magic. I told you there are weird things happening with Boston, and I said that before the Chicago game ever happened. I cannot for the life of me figure out what discernible offense they actually run. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. I know basketball pretty well, and I've watched some chopped up spots of Celtic games, 4-minute runs where all the starters are on the floor. I cannot find any discernible offense whatsoever. And it's clunky and it's weird. And then I remembered, what was that thing that happened? Brad Stevens not the coach anymore. It just shows, in my opinion, it shows how good of a coach Brad Stevens actually was to keep all of these alpha type A personalities in check, because you have a lot of them in Boston.
Right.
And I'm not trying to slight Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
I think the world of him. You're not Brad Stevens. And it has shown egregiously through 8 games.
Yeah. So you think this is a no turn back point?
Well, I even thought with Brad Stevens, there were times that I would watch offensive sets and just go, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. It's one thing when you have a sedentary offense, but then there's also unnecessary movement. Movement that doesn't actually yield anything. And I saw some of that with the Celtics. I saw less of it with Brad Stevens than I'm seeing now.
Right.
Now there are times that I'm like, if I just used my little pen here and followed you around, it would just go in a great big circle. That's not offense.
It's not offense. Oh, wow. That's a great comment in our YouTube comment section. It says, we are talking about California after all. I'm Canadian, and I know that that's a cupcake state.
You said that, not me, but I also did not vehemently disagree with you.
Good comment, Seflon. You can join the comment section, by the way. Just go over to youtube.com/thesportsocracy and hit the subscribe button. Get in on the YouTube comment section during the show, and you too can have your best comments read right here on the air.
Interactive at its best.
Oh, by the way, that quarterback from the game threw 13 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
That was too shy of the record.
And here's the thing.
The national record, by the way.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Is there anything short of that we would have talked about that?
Anything short of what?
Anything short of throwing 13 touchdown passes and winning 106-0.
Oh, you think that's what this was? This is a ploy to get people to talk about the Inglewood High School program?
What it was. I 100% know that's what it was.
Okay.
You figure out at halftime, hey, we scored $1 billion. I'll bet you we can make some headlines if we scored $2 billion.
All right.
Because that's the world we live in. Everything has to trend.
Well,
as somebody that has trended, I will tell you, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I was going to say, there is such a thing as bad publicity. Some people just need to learn that.
Yeah, but what school did you say this was?
Inglewood High School.
Is it private or public?
I think it's public.
Okay. That kind of takes that away. I was about to say, if this is a school that recruits players, I can 100% tell you where this came from.
No, because that school and Morningside are under the same athletic district association.
Okay,
so
that changes that a little bit.
Yeah, so it is I believe it is a public school. Anyhow, we're talking about backup quarterbacks in the NFL. And Jeremy just doesn't believe that Jordan Love can have any kind of a showing this week that will show people that he can play in this league.
I think he's going to be borderline horrendous. And here's the thing. Most quarterbacks are.
Horrendous?
In their first start,
Oh,
most
okay.
of them are terrible.
Yeah.
I went all the way back to 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many quarterbacks in that amount of time, and it's a lot of them, were not, I'll even say average. Russell Wilson was right at 50% completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he's not a rookie. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. In terms of snaps he's gotten with the first team, in terms of playing experience, in terms of going in as the guy, in terms of preparation, yeah, he's a rookie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't play at all last year, and he had 7 snaps in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all he's taken as an NFL quarterback.
The vast majority of quarterbacks in their first start are average to bad.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while you get a Cam Newton that was pretty special in his first start.
Oh, yeah. As was Mike White.
Tom Brady 2.0. Reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Week and FedEx Air Player of the Week.
And the Nickelodeon Valuable Player of the Week.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
He is in the Hall of Fame.
First quarterback from the Jets to be in the Hall of Fame in my lifetime.
That's right. They took his cleats and his jersey, I believe it was, from last week.
Yeah. But if you look around the league, there's a reason. So Mitchell Trubisky on trade deadline day, that became a narrative.
Yep.
That the Saints are chasing Trubisky, the Washington football team. Why did Buffalo look at them and go, nope? Because what are you going to replace him with?
Right, because you don't give up a good backup quarterback.
There is a reason they're paying him $5 million a year to hold a clipboard.
Bingo. He's the answer to the question.
Anything happens.
He's the answer to the question, by the way.
Best quarterback in the league?
Best
Or
backup quarterback in the league.
I would argue there's a slew of them.
Okay. Who else would you put in that category?
Colt McCoy. The exact one I was talking about with Arizona. You don't risk it with Kyler Murray when you have a quarterback like that sitting back there. Is there a possibility that you lose? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, because he's bad.
He's not bad. He's the definition of average. If you looked up average in the dictionary, Colt McCoy's picture is sitting right beside it.
Right next to Baker Mayfield's?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield falls into that too.
Mm-hmm. Shockingly enough,
Mariota,
both starting quarterbacks for the Browns.
and Chad Henne and Mike Glennon. I could do this for a minute. Solely because I have a list pulled up in front of me.
Mm-hmm. As do I, and those guys are on the list of best backup quarterbacks. But I felt like since Buffalo made the signing of Mitch Trubisky, that's the best one. That they are in the best quarterback room situation, I believe, in the NFL.
See, and to me, that's as long as you've got a vet, I really don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the New England Patriots and go, Brian Hoyer. If you remember over the offseason, I was the first one saying Cam Newton ain't going to make this team.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because he's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Hoyer is not a distraction, but he's a vet. And if something goes completely sideways, that's a guy that can play.
Right.
He knows how to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Jordan Love doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I've seen several people say, well, isn't there something to him getting snaps? I'm going to level with you. If something happened to Aaron Rodgers, let's just say he decides he wants to wax surfboards or go play his ukulele or whatever it is that Aaron Rodgers would decide to do. That's the most overrated narrative in the history of time. Whatever he decides to do.
Right.
Green Bay's doomed anyway. I don't care how many snaps he's had.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to see just exactly. I've never seen a player in NFL history more important to their team than Aaron Rodgers is.
That's quite a statement.
Ever. I've never seen one. And I've tried. I've been trying for a full day to find one. Because really, be honest with yourself. Who else is really good on this team? Take out Devontae Adams and take out Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The team that's going to take the field Sunday, how many high-level players do they actually have? I got 4 that were above average.
Right.
That's not a good team. They're currently either the second or third best team in the NFC to virtually everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 99.6% because of Aaron Rodgers. So you take that away. You take the catalyst away. What do you think is going to happen? A tragedy, which is what this will be.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel something stupid coming on.
Please do it. I've already got you to eat wasabi. What stupid thing can I get you to do next?
We settled that this morning, didn't we? It's going to be chitlins versus crawfish.
Yeah, but we got to get away from food. We can save that one for later.
Why?
Plus, somebody's going to have to find where you would actually get a crawfish in the city. Look, I have a very high seafood criteria. I'm not eating a frozen crawfish. That's not happening. Okay? I'll let you hit me in the head with a wiffle ball bat before I eat it.
There's got to be a restaurant. There's got to be a restaurant around here that has crawfish.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, and we'll find it.
I need it to have been alive, this week. I don't need this to be a crawfish that went out around election time. That doesn't really appeal to me.
I think it's hilarious that you're so picky about that.
My wife will tell you, seafood, I will not touch seafood. If I can't comfortably get to the body of water it came out of,
right,
of which the only body of water I can comfortably get to here is Lake Julian, and I'm going to pass. You find me a crawfish out of Lake Julian? No, sir. No, sir, I will not.
No, I'm not. I like the food challenges on the torture ticket. I'm not a big fan of the. Well, we've only really discussed one possible punishment.
Yeah, you can't say it on this show.
I can't say it on this show, and I'm all the way out. Like, there's no way that I am doing that.
No, I am.
You are not going to. I'm not going to put you in a position to physically harm me in any way.
I would never do that. I am a very docile creature.
Wow. I don't know that there's ever been a bigger lie come out of your mouth.
Okay, maybe I don't know what the word docile means.
Anyway, it's obvious that it's very important to have a backup quarterback that you trust in the NFL. So when tragedy strikes your team and Dak Prescott can't go, you've got a Cooper Rush that you can just not let him screw up the game. Can Jordan Love be that guy for the Green Bay Packers? I say it remains to be seen. I understand that he's not great. He's not good. We've talked about this ad nauseum. What's going to happen? All the talks that we had in the offseason about what's going to happen if Aaron Rodgers retires. The Green Bay Packers are screwed. However, I do feel like there is some opportunity this weekend, as he's not getting a ferocious defense.
I don't care if he was playing against Fresno State. I would still say, this might not go well.
Over or under 200 yards passing?
Not really a stat I care about. In this, I mean,
don't worry. I'm going to go down the path here.
He'll probably go over, but I don't think it's by much.
Okay, over or under 2 touchdown passes?
Under.
Okay. Over or under 1 rushing touchdown?
I think that's probably a push.
Probably a push. So if he goes 225, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and it's a close game, will that not be a successful spot start?
I'm going to answer that with a limerick.
Okay.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Because that is not going to happen. Because if he throws for 220 with 1 passing, 1 throwing, they probably get beat 45-14.
Which would be shocking because the Kansas City offense hasn't been able to do that all year long.
They've also not been put in as positive of a situations as they will by Mr. Love. Because what you didn't ask me was over or under 2.5 interceptions, and I'll take the over. Because they have nowhere else to go.
There ain't nobody on that defense that could pick him off that much.
Tyrann Mathieu can do it twice by himself.
Oh, you think so?
L'Jarius Sneed is a good corner in this league. They have players. It's comical to me that you see a bad defense that's been beaten sideways by good quarterbacks, and you don't.
Okay.
what? They played one of the toughest schedules in
No,
the league.
I was thinking. That was not me rolling my eyes. That was me trying to think what quarterbacks have they faced.
If I remember correctly, they've played the 4th toughest schedule in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that they played cupcakes. I'm not saying they're out here losing every week to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans.
And I'm saying Jordan Love with the Green Bay Packers is pretty close to that.
Wow. All right. We shall see. Green on Green picks are coming up next. It's Thursday Night Football. You got NBA picks. We got a monkey knife fight as well coming your way next right here on ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Be the one.
Howell, first down and more. Goodbye. Magical play by Sam Howell. And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Light that bell tower blue.
The Heels return for homecoming against Wake Forest on Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at 11 a.m., kickoff at noon, right here on your home for Carolina football.
The Tar Heels play here, and this is ESPN Asheville.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Yellowstone, cable's #1 drama returns exclusively on Paramount Network.
Don't you die on me now. I like this. Don't. Oh my God.
Fair, moral.
Those are words men invented to scare and shame. But right or wrong, there's no such thing.
One leader falls, another rises.
That'll be the last thing you do.
Yellowstone, the 2-hour season premiere event, Sunday, 8/7 Central. Exclusively on Paramount Network.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Coffee's the closer's home.
Get him the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Well, last night didn't quite go my way.
Wah, wah.
There were some bad lines in Vegas, or at least so I thought, and proof positive of why there are goal fixtures in Las Vegas. Tonight, I got 2 more bad lines that I think are just ridiculous, so let's try it again. The first one, the Philadelphia 76ers are only a 3.5-point dog at Detroit. When I saw that, I went, surely Joel Embiid's not playing. No, he is. Andre Drummond's playing too. They only have 10 players. That's really all they need. Detroit is one of the worst teams I have ever seen in my life. I'm taking the Sixers minus the 3.5. I did this about a week ago, and it worked swimmingly for a week, or for a quarter. Then it all came tumbling after. The Los Angeles Lakers are a 10.5-point favorite against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. Well, let's just lather it up and do it again. No LeBron tonight. I think you'll see more of what happened in the first quarter as opposed to what happened in the last 3 when they couldn't hit water off a boat. I'm taking the LA Lakers minus 10.5. Finally, my New York Jets with Tom Brady 2.0 Mike White play on Thursday Night Football at the Indianapolis Colts. The Jets are a 10-point dog. The over-under is 45. I am taking my Jets to cover this number, solely because I don't think the Indianapolis Colts are that good. You'll see a regression from Mike White. I think he'll still be fine. What I'm more interested in, over the 45.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
Didn't you bet on the Pistons last night or against the Pistons last night?
Okay, okay.
All right, I was just curious.
That's actually part of this. I can't physically believe that they could cover a spread 2 nights in a row. I wouldn't have thought they could have covered a spread against a college team. So,
right.
You know what? Look, okay.
Okay.
We're doing it again.
There's daily fantasy sports, daily fantasy props. To find, yeah, I screwed that one up big time. Wow.
Daily fantasy sports prop bets.
Yeah, there you go. A whole lot of fun over at monkeyknifefight.com. Just go to monkeyknifefight.com, set yourself up an account today. When you make your initial deposit, they will match it up to $50 and give you a $5 free play. All you got to do is use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, at monkeyknifefight.com. What's the game tonight?
Tonight, I'm playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. I will take less than 25.5 points for Jason Tatum. I think he will take to heart the, hey, maybe you should pass, and somebody else is going to have a big game tonight. Mm-hmm. Plus, he'll be defended in large part by Jimmy Butler. And I will take over 22.5 points for Jimmy Butler. That will take your $20 buy-in and turn it into a $72 prize.
The news has not been good for the Green Bay Packers this week. Obviously, finding out that Aaron Rodgers is going to miss this week because of the coronavirus. However, they did get some good news today. Devontae Adams will be back, and Joe Barry, their defensive coordinator, is going to be back as well. So, I mean, at least there is some positive news.
At least they will have a front row seat to the devastation that is going to be what Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to do to them.
Throwing a lot of faith into those Kansas City Chiefs. Is this the flip the switch game?
It could very well could be.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to flip the switch. I just don't think Green Bay can stop them. Mm-hmm. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me, you can take all of the picks from this segment, or you can take the Green Bay Packers if you just like setting money on fire. Go to betus.com, use promo code SportsOcracy. They will give you a 125% deposit match. What that means is if you put in $100, they will give you $125 in free play tokens that you can play any game, the NBA, the NFL, hockey, if you so want to. You can anything at betus.com.
We'll have Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, joining us next to talk about the Wake Forest game coming up this weekend. Stick around.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Freeze and frost alerts up for the area, and we're talking about some 20s. Nighttime low temps Friday night and Saturday night. Record cold around 20. We won't be that cold, thankfully, but well below freezing here tomorrow night and Saturday night, and we're below freezing tonight in the mountains. 34 degrees, most of the precip moving on southeast and away from us. We'll keep some clouds Friday, high 54, low 28. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Sanofi Pasteur.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Sponsored by Sanofi Pasteur.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Festivals, football, the great outdoors. Some people say fall is the best time of the year. It may also be a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
The free iHeart app has a radio station just for you. No, really, My Favorites Radio is tailored to fit you and only you. The only songs that play are the ones that you thumbed up, along with the biggest songs on the stations you listen to most. My Favorites Radio combines all your favorite music into one amazing station. Download the free iHeart app now and start tapping thumbs up on the songs, artists, and stations you like. Plus, you can even share the station with all your friends, just to prove your superior musical tastes. Favorites Radio, only on iHeart. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
From the Angell Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver is accused by team employees of overseeing a toxic and sometimes hostile workplace. Allegedly, Sarver has used racially insensitive and lewd language and also displayed inappropriate and misogynistic conduct. The vice chairman of the Suns, Jam Najafi, has released a statement saying that the alleged conduct is unacceptable and that he supports full accountability. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor will start for the Texans Sunday against the Dolphins. He's been out since a left hamstring injury in Week 2. ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
I don't know how this works out between Tua and the Dolphins, but it's very clear to me how the Dolphins feel about Tua Tagovailoa.
Jeff Darlington on KJ and Max. The Giants believe there are irregularities with the rapid COVID-19 tests. The team has had multiple false positives this week. And ESPN's Dave McMenamin reports LeBron James of the Lakers could miss at least a week with an abdominal strain. He's out tonight against the Thunder.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword money to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's money to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Angell Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
And welcome back in to the Angell studio. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside, and we are getting ready for Tar Heel time with Jones Angell. The second hour of the program, as always, brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different. We also like to welcome everybody into the YouTube stream. Yes, now you can see our beautiful faces, not just hear our beautiful voices every day. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Check us out there. Hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel as well. North Carolina Tar Heels last week couldn't get the upset win over Notre Dame, but there are a lot of positives to take away from the 10-point loss on the road in South Bend. Joining us now, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, who you hear here on ESPN Asheville for every UNC football game and basketball game. Basketball season coming right around the corner, but we're all in football mode now that things are back to 500. How you doing, Jones?
Jake, doing well. Appreciate you having me on. And, yeah, what an odd game in the fact that I think if you'd have told me that Carolina was going to gain more than 550 yards and put up 34 points and Sam Howell was going to throw for 341 and rush for 101, and a bunch of different guys would get involved in the offense. Ty Chandler would have a good day. Antoine Greene have 5 catches. Josh Downs doing his thing. I would think that Carolina had a good chance to win that game, and Tar Heels did. They had the ball down 4 early in the fourth quarter, but that sequence early in the fourth where Notre Dame hit the long run, Carolina turned it over, and then Notre Dame added a field goal, and in just a short amount of time, all of a sudden it was a 14-point game. That was the difference in the game. But big picture, encouraging game offensively, discouraging defensively. Carolina's got to figure out a way to get off the field more often. I know it isn't easy in today's college football if you're not Georgia to get stops consistently, but Tar Heels got to figure out a way to be better than they were this past weekend on that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's there are some defensive concerns, of course, but you got to feel pretty good about seeing what they were able to do offensively and get so many other guys involved. That's been one of the big criticisms of this team this year is that it's Josh Downs and every now and then you got good runs by Ty Chandler but I mean for Sam to be able to spread the ball around like he did, I thought that was a big step, especially when you see you've got 3 games coming up here at the end of the schedule that are going to be really, really tough.
Well, I think it just shows that the offense has continued to improve, and I think the offense has kind of quietly been getting better as the year has gone along, but it really showed off in this past game. Between Carolina get a little bit healthier on that offensive line, particularly at the center position. That's been really important. The Tar Heels getting a little more physical in the run game. I think Ty Chandler's really turned into a really good player for Carolina after a couple of weeks of just figuring out, where he fit into things with the Tar Heels. And he's really become a consistently good player at that spot. You mentioned setting the ball. Justin Olsen had a couple catches, and Josh Downs still had 10. And that's what we were talking about last week, Tank, that it doesn't – you're not just doing that just to change the numbers. It's to help Josh Downs continue to be successful by getting other guys in the mix. And I think you saw that this past week is that when other guys are involved, it is easier for Josh Downs to continue to put up the type of numbers that he's been putting up. So I thought that was really encouraging for Carolina. And Sam Howell has, even though I know the perception is that he hasn't been terrific, I just think he's continued to put the Tar Heels on his back. I mean, he's accounting for 72% of Carolina's offensive yards this year between passing and rushing. That's an enormous number. So I thought really encouraging all the way around on that side of the ball for sure.
Yeah, I haven't. We've been talking about that. This will be like the third time that I've talked about this today. But I think it's hilarious the people who talk about how big of a step back, quote unquote, that Sam Howell has taken this year, and that's just not true. The fact that he has more on his shoulders with this team and is continuing to put up big numbers, I think is a show that there's a lot to that kid more than just stepping back and slinging it.
Yeah, and honestly, Tank, I think it's probably been his most impressive year to me, simply because of what he has been asked to do. And he's always been asked to do a lot, but he's also had a lot more help in the past that was ready to contribute. I think you're starting to see this offense that is more well-balanced and more ready to contribute and to help as you see some of these guys that we just mentioned continue to emerge. Now, has Sam had some, that game at Virginia Tech was not a good game.
No.
Would he like a couple of the ball security issues back in the Georgia Tech game? Absolutely. But he has been asked to do so much for this team. I'll mention that number again. I mean, 72%. That's a ton. And you look at there was a number or a stat out there this week, and I may not get these exactly right, Tank, but it was David Hale, who does a good job covering the ACC, put this out. It was 2,100 or more passing yards through 8 games, 550 rushing yards through 8 games, and 25 touchdowns or more through 8 games. Sam Howell has hit all of those benchmarks. The other guys to do that are Johnny Manziel in 2012 when he won the Heisman, Lamar Jackson in 2016 when he won the Heisman, Lamar Jackson the next year in 2017, and then Jalen Hurts when he was with Oklahoma in 2019. I mean, those are incredibly successful college players. And for Sam to be in that conversation statistically should tell you the kind of work that he's been doing back there at that quarterback position.
Right. A lot of the spotlight was put on Sam in the preseason. Guilty played into that as well, probably added to some of it about the Heisman hype. He's still putting up those kinds of numbers. The problem is the team's not winning enough to have him in that conversation. And I think that's one thing that, people don't think about is like you're still putting up numbers, you're still getting points on the board for your team as the quarterback, and you're starting to, or at least every other week, at least for the last 6 games, have been putting up wins for your team. It's just you're no longer on that Heisman scale when your team's 4-4.
No, not when you're 4-4, and not when you lose the first game on a Friday night that everybody was looking at after hearing about you all off season.
Yeah, and then that bad interception at the end. Yeah,
sure. And here's the thing, Tank. He might not even get an All ACC team because the ACC is loaded with quarterbacks that have put up really impressive numbers. Brendan Armstrong from Virginia, Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, Devin Leary at NC State, Sam Howell. All 5 of those guys, I think, have a legitimate argument for being not just an All-ACC quarterback, one of the first 3 teams. I think you could argue that any one of them could be the first-team quarterback just due to the statistical work that they have been able to do and put up this season. And so that there's going to be 2 really good quarterbacks out of that group of 5 that I just mentioned that don't get an All-ACC recognition beyond honorable mention in the postseason. And so it's just it is a busy year at that position in the conference as far as guys who are having terrific seasons.
It is, and Sam Howell has he's right now, I think he's 7th in the ACC in rushing yards, and I was reading a stat this morning that if you took out the sack yardage and didn't ding him for the yards lost on the sacks, he'd be 3rd in rushing yards.
Yeah, it's impressive. And he's got the second largest, and I know we're just throwing stats at people, but he's got, I think it's 32 runs of 10 yards or more this year, which is the second most in the entire nation. Mm-hmm. So he's doing his part, and I think the good news for the Tar Heels is that some other guys are starting to do their part on a more consistent basis outside of Josh Downs and Ty Chandler. You're starting to get some other guys involved, which is really a positive. But having said all of that, Tank, you got to have a complete game, which is still what Carolina's looking for. And the Tar Heels, if they're not any better defensively this week, Wake Forest might hang 60 on them because Wake is so explosive offensively. And this was a game last year. Remember, that was 59-53. Mm-hmm. Carolina won it. So it could be that type of game again, unless there's some significant upgrade shown as far as what happens defensively.
Yeah, well, I think, what is it, Carolina, we're number 1 in scoring average, and Wake's number 2. I think I read that earlier.
Both teams can put up a lot of points, and they both are really explosive as far as they can get chunk yardage. And in fact, just in getting ready for Wake Forest this week, Tank, I think it's actually made me appreciate Carolina's offense a little bit more as well, because when you look at all these stats of the teams that have the most 60-yard plays, 50-yard plays, 40-yard plays, 30-yard plays, Carolina's either in first or second in all those categories, and right up there is Wake Forest as well. I think the thing with Carolina is that standard was set so high by last year's offense, but it's worth remembering that was quite literally the best offense in school history. And so there's a reason why it was the best ever, is that because it hadn't happened before. And so even though it's not quite to that level, Carolina's offense has really still been pretty darn good this year. And Wake Forest is right there step for step with them as far as offensive production. Man, they've got that really unique RPO game. where they hold the ball. Sam Hartman, their excellent quarterback, will hold the ball at that mesh point, and they'll walk forward. Sometimes he walks 2 or 3 yards with the running back, continuing to read the defense, and they really force you to play man-to-man on the outside against their really good receivers, and then they throw it up and believe that their guy's going to go get that 50-50 ball a lot more than your guy is. And they've been very successful with that. Just watching some of their film this week, I mean, it's like a highlight tape when in that game against Army and game against Duke, and they're just bombing away almost every play, it felt like. And they've got the guys that can make them successful.
Well, what's Coach been saying about the defensive strategy this weekend, or what, maybe some things that they're going to have to tweak or preach harder this week to keep those big plays in check?
I really do think, and this is going to sound boring, but I think a lot of it, particularly against this style of offense, is staying very disciplined and staying very fundamental. It's not that different concept-wise from running like a triple option attack. Obviously, you're moving the ball in a different way, but the goal is to make the defense have to make a choice, read what choice they make, and then react off of that. And so you have to make sure, if you're a defender, that you're staying very sound to what you're supposed to be doing within the concept of your defense. You don't want to start going, hey, you know what, I'm just going to go get the ball if you're not supposed to in that particular call. And so it really does stress your discipline more than anything else. Now, it also stresses your physical ability, because when you got A.T. Perry out there on the edge and he's 6'5" and can go up there and get a jump ball as good as anybody in the conference, that's not easy to defend against no matter how disciplined you are. So there is a physical level to it, too, where you just need to play well. But I do think the discipline aspect is important this week.
I think everybody would agree with that. This is weirdly enough a non-conference game because Wake just didn't come around in the rotation with the split divisions, and they decided we can't do this anymore. We have to play each other all the time, and that's a topic for another day. We all wish that was something that could change. Because I've always thought that this is one of the undersold rivalries in this conference.
Well, it's the 109th time that they've played. You're talking about two schools that are an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half, whatever it is, from each other. I think I understand why, but it still doesn't make sense. If that statement makes sense, these two teams should play each other, and I don't know moving forward, and I don't know how the alliance plays into that, if at all. Eventually, your scheduling, how that changes. How many conference games? Are you going to add conference games for TV revenue? How does all those things look moving forward? But I do know that it's silly that Carolina and Wake Forest have to sign a home-and-home non-conference deal to play each other more than once every 6 years, and have each other, have a home game against the other one once every 12 years. That's crazy. And so hopefully however the schedule is massaged and how it looks moving forward here in the future, they can figure out a way that these two teams can see each other more often.
Absolutely. Jones Angell, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, joining us as he does every Thursday afternoon, and we appreciate you doing that with us here. And go Tar Heels.
You know it, Tank. Busy week coming up. We got basketball, the exhibition tomorrow night, where that is available to our affiliates that don't have high school football conflicts. We'll be on there at 6:30 for the exhibition matchup at 7:30. Then football is a noon kick. We're on the air at 11. And then Tuesday, we're doing it for real basketball-wise. First regular season game, Carolina hosting Loyola of Maryland in the Smith Center for the official start of the Hubert Davis era. So looking forward to a busy stretch here coming up.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Do you want to give us who do we need to look out for in that first game?
Basketball-wise?
Yeah, basketball-wise.
I really think it's going to be a fun year for Carolina, especially here at the beginning, Tank, just because I do think there are so many unknowns. But here are some things I know for sure. Armando Bacot has looked really good for Carolina during this preseason. I think R.J. Davis and Caleb Love are ready to take some steps forward. Both those guys, of course, had solid freshman years, a little up and down, had some great moments, had some freshman moments. And all those transfers are going to play a role for the Tar Heels. Brady Manick from Oklahoma, Dawson Garcia from Marquette, Justin McCoy from Virginia. These are guys that have played at a high level before and are ready to immediately come in and compete at a high level. So it's an interesting mix of some key pieces that are brand new and then some key pieces that I think you're going to see more out of than you saw a year ago. Mixing the fact that you got a brand new head coach and a different feel and probably doing some things a little differently out on the court, and it should be a really fun season.
Yeah, and we're going to have some tough non-conference matchups coming out to start the season with Purdue and Michigan and UCLA. It's another year of Carolina basketball. It's finally here, and so Tuesday night is the night opening up against Loyola, Maryland.
That's right. Looking forward to that. And busy stretch. I think it's 5 games in 8 days coming up between basketball and football starting tomorrow. So we're buckled up and ready to go.
All right. And we will hear you right here on ESPN Asheville. Jones, have a great one. And we will see you next time.
Thanks, Nick.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Freeze and frost alerts up for the area, and we're talking about some 20s. Nighttime low temps Friday night and Saturday night. Record cold around 20. We won't be that cold, thankfully, but well below freezing here tomorrow night and Saturday night, and we're below freezing tonight in the mountains. 34 degrees, most of the precip moving on southeast and away from us. We'll keep some clouds Friday, high 54, low 28. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume and delays. 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and US 1923 Business Exit 2. An accident at the stretch has the left shoulder closed near Haywood Road. 26 westbound is slow between Long Shoals Road and Bavard Road. In the Royal Pines area, Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound near Ross Cragen Road, delays both directions. And on Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, traffic slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's week 1 of the high school football playoffs. And we've got a great matchup as Asheville High is hosting the War Eagles of Davie. The Cougars are rolling in after an undefeated conference season. The War Eagles of Davie 6-4 on the year. Sports Tank Friday starts at 6. Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30. And the Tuscola Mountaineers are in the playoffs as well. They hit the road to take on Concord. The Mountaineer pregame show also at 6:30 on ESPN 1400. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it, because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the dad from that hilarious sitcom you watch on demand. Thanks to DirecTV Stream, our worlds have been brought together.
And there's a laugh track.
Oh, who, them? Yeah, well, they kind of just follow me everywhere.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device content. Varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Yeah, we'll wear it proudly. Here in the Sportsocracy, ESPN, Asheville, and, of course, you can check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Join us on the YouTube stream. Hit the subscribe button. Get in on the chat conversation. You can even join our little merry band of misfits.
Yep.
Named. We still don't know. We're still going back and forth?
Well, we're called the Sportsocracy. I think it has to be the House of Reprehensibles. I do not see how that can be called anything else.
I like that.
It's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it.
The House of Reprehensibles.
It just fits.
All right.
My first mock draft will be out tomorrow,
yes.
as along with our week. What is it? Week 8? Week 9?
Week 9.
Week 9. Wow.
Yeah, Week 9 previews.
Time flies during football season.
And, of course, tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville, we will be playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zach. I'm going to gloat.
You should.
I'm gonna gloat because I whipped y'all. I whipped y'all this week.
Lions plus 3.5.
Doesn't matter.
That's all. Look,
Doesn't
only
matter.
one of us had to eat a wad of wasabi. So I'm going to take that as a win.
You
for me.
stacked the deck against me, and you know what? I stepped up and I did my punishment, and I still beat you.
I stacked the deck against
you. Did.
I think you stacked the deck against yourself.
Uh-huh.
Because you were the one that went, the Lions have the better quarterback.
Bingo.
No. They have the better coach.
Bingo.
No. Then I think they're the better team. Well, they're not.
Bingo.
And they got beat 44-6.
Look, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Still went 3-1.
That's fine.
And I feel good about it.
That's
anyway, we'll play Beat the Chief tomorrow with Asheville Police Chief David Zach. Do not miss it. We always have a lot of fun hanging out with the Chief. And Beat the Chief always brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. We talk about historic starts to the NFL season. No one is doing it better than Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp's been unbelievable.
The connection that he has with Matthew Stafford has resulted in one of the best seasons in NFL history, or at least the best starts to a season in NFL history. He has 924 receiving yards and 10 touchdown catches. He is the first guy to do that in the team's first 8 games since 1990. Name that wide receiver.
1990?
Yeah.
I feel like Jerry Rice is the layup answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice. Of course it is. Of course it's Jerry Rice. In fact, there are only 5 guys that have done it all time. And if you could name any of the others, I will be super shocked.
I promise you I can't.
No. Don Hutson in 1942. Raymond Berry in 1951. And Crazy Legs Hirsch from 1960.
Yeah, I would have gotten none of those.
That's what I'm saying. We like playing these little games. I like to quiz Jeremy on these things. But when it goes that far back.
Yeah, I stop at leather helmets. When they wore leather helmets, I'm out.
Come on, I don't even feel like they weren't even wearing leather helmets in 42.
Nah, probably were. Wouldn't know.
Somebody still was. There was still one guy that was still holding on to the old ways of how we played football back then. Cooper Kupp, though, didn't see that one coming.
I can genuinely say neither did I. I thought Robert Woods would be the beneficiary of Matthew Stafford. But so far, he has not been.
No, he hasn't been. So, good news for Dallas Cowboys fans. Dak Prescott, they've made the announcement. He's a full go. He will officially be back this week against the Denver Broncos.
T's and P's for the Denver Broncos.
Oh, my gosh.
Because you are going to get beat by a billion deep.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those Waffle House games. Just scattered, smothered, and covered.
Oh, that's not what I would call a Waffle House game, but okay. I think it is what I call a Waffle House game. But
Yeah.
I hear Waffle House, and I just immediately think 3 o'clock making poor decisions.
Making poor decisions.
Yeah, that's...
Mm-hmm. Who's shocked that that's where your mind goes?
Well, that's the only time I've ever been in a Waffle House. So
really?
I see people sitting outside Waffle House at noon, and I go, why? Why are you doing that?
Because their waffles are good.
I don't dispute that. Maybe it's me, the guy that gets heartburn when he looks at anything.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I still say there's nothing quite like a patty melt sandwich from the Waffle House. It's one of my favorite little sins because it's so good.
I'm still eating healthy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you had 2 salads today, and you're not a very happy person.
That was my snack. That was fun. Did have chicken in it though. I was not anticipating that.
Right. All right, let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
I love the fact that we have several Canadans in the YouTube stream right now, because I've got a story for you coming out of Winnipeg. Winnipeg police, what do we like to say? Don't do crimes, right?
Don't do crimes.
Winnipeg police took 2 people into custody this past week when they found them at an abandoned house, and they didn't live there, obviously. It's an abandoned house. But the neighbors started smelling gas leaking from the house. And, of course, they called authorities. Gas leak's not good for anybody. So they went to check it out. They go to the door. They see 2 people laying on the floor. Of course, they did the responsible thing and broke in, saved them. They were there to steal the furnace. Yeah. They were trying to steal the furnace out of this house. And when they dislodged the gas nozzle, it started leaking into the house. And they just passed right out right there. Now, here's the hook of the story. They were taken into custody, taken downtown, questioned, no charges filed. I figure, if you've been gassed, that's a good enough penalty, I guess.
That's not even kind of a thing.
Who knows what the story is, but anyhow, they broke, they entered, they attempted to commit thievery, and no charges. We'll just let you go on your merry way. Oh, God bless Canada.
Okay, so I have to give 2 updates to a story that I told yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday I mentioned that the lottery ticket people, they're not my favorite people.
Yeah.
Especially the ones to get behind in line.
Uh-huh.
Well, first update, I got behind one of those this morning at
Karma.
7:05.
That's karma
in the
right
morning.
there.
It lasted for 5 solid minutes.
Oh, no.
To the point of I finally had to say something and go, look, I haven't slept much. I'm a little on edge anyway, and I'm going to need you to go on about your way. That's A. B, somebody sent this to me. A Michigan woman said overhearing another store customer's complaints led her to buy the scratch-off lottery ticket that earned her a $500,000 jackpot. Somebody sent this to me, and it made me laugh aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
The winner was a 65-year-old Genesee County woman from Michigan, and she told Michigan lottery officials she was at the Marathon gas station in Mount Morris when she overheard another customer complaining loudly about the lottery game. They were playing what's called the $500 Fever. Okay. Apparently, this is a scratcher ticket where they have random little instant $500 winners. And apparently, this person had bought copious numbers of tickets, gone to their car, scratched them all, and they didn't win anything. So this woman in line heard that and went, wait, you bought a lot of them and didn't win anything?
Mm-hmm.
That means something good's probably going to happen.
Right.
And bought a few and didn't even scratch them. Literally just scratched the barcode and handed them back to the clerk, which, by the way, I did not know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm,
now that I know that's a thing, it makes me even more irritable with the people that do this in front of me. Well, when she handed it to the clerk, it came back and said, cannot be processed. Well, cannot be processed means one of two things.
You got to go to the state capitol.
There it is. That's one of the two things it means.
Right.
The other is that you could have scratched the barcode. But scratched it, realized it was a $500,000 winner, and the only thing I could think as I read this story was, man, I would really like to have seen the face of the other person that was complaining about this. Oh, you only bought 10? Well, I guess you should have bought 12.
Like, did she stick her tongue out at her as she's like,
I would have.
Of course you would have.
Done that. I would have 100% done that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably followed by a limerick of some kind.
So the woman came back into the store upset that she didn't win anything,
Yes.
and then the other woman went, there's got to be a winner in there somewhere.
You bought a bunch of those and won nothing. I believe I will.
Wow.
Don't complain at people that work at the gas station about lottery tickets.
Yeah,
okay?
that's dumb.
Okay, just don't do that.
It's like it's their fault.
And it's like if you get a honey bun and it's not fresh enough for you. Well, it was probably made in 1986, so calm down.
Who has ever complained about a stale honey bun?
Oh, you would be surprised. I think I just have this look where people go, hey, you know what? I'm going to complain about something in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's my friendly face. I don't know. Also love when people complain to me about things that I can't do anything about.
Yeah.
Oh, gas is too expensive. I mean, what do you want me to do? Rob the place? Like that? Why are you telling me? I don't care. I love talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Complaining is something that I just don't do. I don't deal well with that.
No. It's not worth it. Like using your honey bun example. That has happened to me before. And you know what I did?
Ate it.
I went, oh, this honey bun's stale. Oh, well.
I didn't know
Eat
a honey
it and
bun
move
could
on.
go stale.
Yeah, it can. It can.
They're like, that's not even bread.
Sure it is.
Dipped in glaze.
That doesn't mean like it seals in the flavor.
That like fossilizes it, doesn't it?
No, it can. You eat it, you move on about your day, and guess what? It's not the store clerk's fault, and I'm not calling Hostess to say, hey, my honey bun was stale. You need to send me a new one.
You strike me as somebody that would do that.
Not a chance. I will not complain about anything.
Okay, I have to ask. I've never asked you this question.
Yeah.
Are you a send food back in a restaurant kind of
Never.
person? Never.
Never.
You've never done it in your life?
I think I did once. Just because I ordered something that didn't have fish and it tasted like fish. And I went, did you cook this with fish? Because this tastes like fish and it has no fish in it. And even at that point, I was like, I really hate to be a bother here, but this is not good.
Yeah, I'll level with you. I order burgers in restaurants a lot, and I'll be honest with you, it could still have spots on it, and I won't send it back.
No.
I do not care.
Won't do it.
No shot. I have never sent food back in my life.
And you know why? Because I saw that movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's part of it for me. The other part is just, hey, you know what? It'll come back burnt. Like if I say this is undercooked, it's gonna come back burnt.
Right. Like no, if I go into first off, you should never have anything over medium rare on a steak. But I've seen people do that all the time. Like it's not cooked to my liking. I'm like, I'm gonna eat it. I mean, if the manager comes by and says, how was everything? And I was like, well, the steak was a little overdone, but, I mean, it's still steak.
See,
I ate it.
I won't even do that. My answer, wonderful. Please keep going. I don't really want to talk
to you.
I don't want to talk to you about Bennigan's. I just don't care.
Right. No. The only complaint I ever had in a restaurant one time was I had to call the manager over to tell him that I saw a rat crawl up the wall.
Sweet.
Yeah. Like, hey, I don't want to cause a problem. I want to cause a scene. I just want to let you know that there's a I just saw a rat crawl up the wall and go into that little porthole. It's probably not a good idea. You should probably call somebody. And they were very thankful. They were like, oh, thank you for not making a scene, because anybody else would have been like, rat! I'm just not that guy.
I don't care.
I don't cause a scene in places I go.
Amy and I eat out so often that I just assume, I don't want to know. Just, okay, I'm just going to eat it, and we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, you put the wrong salad dressing on here.
I don't care.
I'm going to eat it.
I do not care.
I mean, unless it's got wasabi salad dressing on it, then I'm going to have to send it back.
And my salad earlier had avocado ranch. I had to make my own ranch. The avocado.
You had to make your own ranch?
Yes.
No,
with
you
salsa.
had to.
It was a fiesta salad. It needed the
fiesta. It needed
with
the
just
zing.
ranch. With just ranch, there was no fiesta.
You're so
I needed
crazy.
to add fiesta.
Like,
So I did.
You made your own ranch. I told you there was a bottle of ranch in the fridge, and you walked down there. That's not making it.
And I took the ranch and I put that on the salad, and then I threw some salsa on top of it, and I swirled it around with the included fork.
He made his own ranch. Interesting. Okay. College football coaching carousel. Let's talk about that for a little bit here, because Jeremy, you've been hearing that there are some top-notch names in line for this TCU job.
I said, I don't remember what day this was. I think it was Tuesday. Stop calling Kellen Moore. He's not taking your mediocre job. Apparently, he's interested in the TCU job, and I can't wrap my brain around that to save my life. And he's not the only one.
Right.
Apparently, Deion Sanders is interested in this job, too. I had heard Deion at USC. That I get. Why in the world would you want to be the head coach at TCU?
Who would not want to be the head coach of the best team and the best program in their conference?
Well, they're not.
When Texas and Oklahoma leave.
You've said Cincinnati and BYU wrong, but okay.
Oh, stop.
I've never heard TCU spelled BYU. That's a new one.
You think immediately they come in and they will be the best program in the Big 12?
Absolutely they will. Absolutely they will. Because here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is the thing I don't understand. All right, so Oklahoma and Texas leave. What do you think that does to recruiting in the Big 12? Well, you don't have the state of Texas anymore. You have Texas, Texas Tech, and Baylor. Okay. That's the Arby's riblet sandwich compared to the McRib.
So you think
I'm still going to do that.
So you think once those two programs leave the Big 12, no players will ever want to go back to the Big 12?
It's not nobody, but you're not going to get the high-end players. Because if I'm a high-end player in Texas, who would I want to beat? Who did I grow up either loving or hating? Oklahoma or Texas? Or I can go to LSU now and do that. I can go to LSU and play Oklahoma every year. Or I can go to Alabama and play Texas every year. Why would I want to go to Texas Tech? So I can play BYU? I don't care. Everybody's on television. None of that matters.
So you think there are a lot of recruits that are going to TCU now that are going there? I say a big reason they wanted to go there was because they're going to play Texas or Oklahoma.
That's part of it.
Okay.
Because they were a Texas kid that got slighted and didn't get recruited by the two of them. Well, now I can do that at Ole Miss and play for Lane Kiffin. Why in the world would I want to play at TCU and have to travel to Cincinnati and West Virginia? I love West Virginia. Awful tied to it.
Right.
But why would I want to do that? The travel's a nightmare. And you look at all the ways that this college football realignment's gone. I'm telling you right now, travel now means nothing. Conference USA is literally going to be Conference USA. They're going to have teams all over the country. And so I just look at the Big 12 and go, you're not really a Power 5 school. You're not really a Power 5 conference anymore. The best team in your conference can't be Cincinnati and you be a Power 5.
Why not?
The same reason we talked about for 45 minutes yesterday. Because Cincinnati would get scattered, smothered, and covered by virtually every team in the SEC.
But now as Cincinnati comes in and week in and week out, they still have to play Oklahoma State and TCU and
Cincinnati
Baylor.
Currently gets filler from Ohio State and all those kids that wanted to play at Big Ten schools. Well, now your conference schedule is against TCU, Baylor, and Texas Tech. Why would I want to do that? My parents live in Ohio. So now the only games that they can ever see are home games? I don't want to do that. I have had multiple kids that got recruited. Parents tell me this. One of the things that factored in, where are they going to play road games? Because let's say you're from Atlanta and you go to Ole Miss. Well, you still know, Georgia could come. You could play Georgia at any given time.
Right.
So then you wind up playing in Athens, which is close to us. Why would you want to travel across the country? It doesn't make any sense. And now the Big 12 is going to be spread across 3/4 of the United States. You're going to play conference games in Utah and West Virginia and Iowa. There's no appeal to that.
You're still in a Power 5 conference.
In name only.
But they're not going to lose that. They're not going to lose that, and you're going to have the ability to be, Pac-12 South.
Well, and that's why we wanted to talk about this. I think you are. I think there is a seismic shift coming where there's 3 power conferences.
Okay, so they'll just go, Big Ten, SEC, ACC?
Yep.
And that's
the
it.
ACC will get shuffled out reasonably often.
You don't think the whole alliance thing's going to...
It means nothing.
Going to keep things status quo?
They told you that's irrelevant. But here's what's going to happen. The SEC, the playoffs is going to expand. Nothing's going to stop that. And I would say it goes to 8. There's been talk of 12, but there's just so much opposition to 12 that I don't know that that's going to happen. At least not at first.
Right.
Might happen in time. Might end up at 16 over time. But the SEC is getting 3 of those teams every single year.
Yes.
The Big Ten's going to get at least 1, usually 2. So now how exactly is that going to work? You won't do this for long where USC won the Pac-12. Cool, they're the 8th seed. They go in and play Alabama and get beat by 60. And the overnight number on that dips every 5 minutes. They're not going to do that for long. This is all built to make money. They're not going to do anything. Plus, you still got to do something with a group of 5. I mean, not to me.
Yeah.
To me, you can go play in the Peach Bowl.
And that's what's going to happen.
I'm fine with that.
And maybe once in a blue moon, one of those group of 5 schools will come up with a first-round victory. And yay, we'll throw our little party, and then we're just going to end up with the same 4 teams in the Final Four every year like we do now. I understand your what's the word?
Derision?
Yeah, I was going to say, you doubting that TCU is an attractive job. But here's the thing. With the realignment, TCU is going to be one of the quote-unquote big money programs in the Big 12,
and that's
whatever's
kind
left of the Big 12. And they've also seen TCU, the way that they've handled Gary Patterson. Now, the end obviously did not go well.
That's the other part of this. The end, you fired him on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock after he'd been there for 20 years.
Right, but I think it's the fact that he was there for 20 years that they went, well, I mean, this could be a place where I'm not going to go, and in 3 years, if I don't meet their standards, if I don't start winning 10 games a year, then I'm going to be out. But here's the thing. You're in a lesser Big 12. You don't have Texas and Oklahoma anymore. The chances that you start winning 10 games a year, it's going to be pretty good. So the money's good. I'm going to be in a conference that I can win and hopefully routinely win. And I'm in Texas, where there's a lot of guys to recruit in Texas. And TCU's been pretty darn good on the recruiting trail. Gary Patterson has built a name for TCU in Texas. It's not Texas. It's not Texas A&M, but it's still pretty good.
You said, they were, I'll be safe at TCU.
Yeah.
This is the first time they could have ever fired him. They fired him the first shot they got.
They could have fired him 2 years ago?
How? He had just gone 11-3. He hasn't gone more than 2 years without double-digit victories in 20 years. This is the first time that's ever happened, and you literally didn't even let him finish the season. That's one of the reasons that I don't think it's all overly.
He was what? He was 4 or what? He was 7-6 in 18, 5-7 in 19, Of course, last year was the coronavirus year. They weren't going to fire anybody in that year. But, I mean,
this is the first time he's gone more than 2 years. It's the first time he's gone more than back-to-back years without a 10-win season. You never had a shot to do it until now.
That's true.
And then you fired him in the middle of the night, and literally the coaches you were chasing were reported as soon as you fired him.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from somewhere.
It's probably been building since 2019. Since midway through that 5-7 season, they probably started saying, you know what, maybe we need to start.
If I remember correctly, they started that year really well.
Mm-hmm.
This came off the rails because they've had 2 quarterbacks that couldn't stay healthy.
Maybe so.
And then he had that weird somebody hit Jerry Kill with a stick or whatever it was that he said at Colorado, and basically it was just proven to be completely a fabrication.
But, I mean, again, after 20 years, do you not get to a point where, you know what, maybe it's time for a change?
With Gary Patterson, I think he should have been able to set his own exit terms.
I agree with you. I'm not saying what they did was right, but what I'm saying is another coach is going to look at that and go, there's going to be some leeway there for me.
And not really how I saw that.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm just looking
Jets
at it
plus
going,
7.
Lions plus 3.5. I'm just looking at this going, you fired Gary Patterson. Why? To hire Sonny Dykes because his dad was the greatest coach in program history?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean that same guy that got fired at California after 2 years? Oh, that's the savior of the program. Okay.
Well, maybe it's Kellen Moore.
I will not believe that until I see it. I've had it literally confirmed that he's interested in the job, and I still don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, you would think Kellen Moore would be he is on the short list for an NFL head coaching job.
Yeah, and my problem with that is that he just completely blew out Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State chased him, and he just went, nope, not interested.
Well,
and now you're going to be interested in TCU?
I would say there's way better of an opportunity at TCU.
But you went to Boise State.
Well, I get that.
You'd be a legend at Boise State.
Right. But maybe that was a conversation of, hey, can you get into the Big 12? And they went, nah, probably not. And he was like, okay, I'm done.
By the way, you want to talk about a program with some leeway? Do you know it's been over 30 years since Boise State fired a coach? They have not fired a head coach in 30 years.
Because they keep winning and getting bigger jobs. Yeah.
That was kind of my point. But
you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near Royal Pines, Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Ross Cragen. Expect delays. Again on Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road. Traffic is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound delays after Long Shoals Road and approaching Mills Gap Road. On the Smoky Park Highway, a few light delays northbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
Tyson Furniture has a fantastic selection of quality furniture, honest values, and great service. We deliver weekly to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Join the action as the Asheville Championship takes place at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 12th and 14th. The tournament will feature Minnesota, Princeton, South Carolina, and Western Kentucky as the inaugural field. Get your tickets now at all Ingalls Markets locations. Be part of the action and follow along as it all starts in Asheville. Don't miss the inaugural Asheville Championship, November 12th and 14th at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it, because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
Yellowstone, cable's #1 drama returns exclusively on Paramount Network.
Don't you die on me now. Not like this.
Don't.
Oh my God. Fair, moral. Those are words men invented to scare and shame. But right or wrong, there's no such thing.
One leader falls, another rises. That'll be the last thing you do.
Yellowstone, the 2-hour season premiere event, Sunday, 8/7 Central, exclusively on Paramount Network.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Why is DJ Moore trending?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I hadn't seen
no.
that. I try to stay away from Twitter. Bad things happen to me when I go to Twitter.
I'm just looking. I'm hoping that it's not some kind of an injury in practice today. Anyhow, if we find out, we'll let you know. I can't. There's no like breaking news on it. I just clicked on what's trending, and it's a DJ Moore, and I thought, oh no, not again, not another hurdle for the Carolina Panthers to have to overcome. Revenge game though this weekend for Stephon Gilmore.
And I like Carolina in this game. I really do.
I do too, and maybe that will turn some people off, knowing that I'm on their side.
I can't get away from. I feel like this team is better than they have played, and I don't believe in New England at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a fun weekend, though.
Oh, no,
I was looking down the slate, looking at the college, looking at the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sneaky, interesting games this week.
Like what?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, I thought you just had one in mind.
That was a broad scale. I mean, we'll talk about them tomorrow.
I mean, Texas A&M and Auburn.
Yep, that's not one I was talking about.
I think that's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it's not one I was
It's going to be a fun game for Texas A&M.
Hey, two teams that can't score. This will be fun.
Oh, come on. It'll be good for you to see your new defensive star, DeMarvin Leal.
Yeah. Tomorrow, my first mock draft will be out on YouTube. Our game recap or our game previews for Week 9 will be out on YouTube as well. Looking forward to talking some draft.
Yeah. We haven't done that in a while.
We've waited entirely too long to do draft things. And I know some people would go, oh, there's still 9 weeks left in the season. Yeah, but there's a lot of teams like mine who are terrible and have 2 top 10 picks. That's the only thing that's keeping me from not being really sad right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that and Tom Brady 2.0.
Yeah, Mike White.
And the fact we found our own Tom Brady, that makes me happy.
And you think Mike White's going to be able to lead you guys to a victory tonight?
You know, I don't think we're going to win this game. I want to think we're going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the Jets have done that Charlie Brown thing to me so many times that I'm going to have to see it.
I'm going to do it for you.
No.
There is no shot.
Oh.
There is no shot that the New York Jets beat the Indianapolis Colts tonight.
Go to betus.com right now. Use promo code Sportsocracy. I don't know how long the Tank Spencer kiss of death will last. Go right now. Use promo code Sportsocracy and all Jets plus 10. If you're really bold, go Jets money line. It is that vicious of a curse.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, we will play Beat the Chief tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville. Join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be doing mock draft, Jeremy's first of the season. Go to thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Freeze and frost alerts up for the area, and we're talking about some 20s. Nighttime low temps Friday night and Saturday night. Record cold around 20. We won't be that cold, thankfully, but well below freezing here tomorrow night and Saturday night, and we're below freezing tonight in the mountains. 34 degrees, most of the precip moving on southeast and away from us. We'll keep some clouds Friday, high 54, low 28. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by JCPenney. Black Friday starts now. Shop early and save. Black Friday starts now at JCPenney. Friday through Sunday, shop early and save with thousands of new Black Friday deals while they last. Sparkle everyone's stocking with extra savings on all fine jewelry. These deals and more end Sunday.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near Royal Pines, Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Ross Cragen. Expect delays. Again on Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road. Traffic is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound delays after Long Shoals Road and approaching Mills Gap Road. On the Smoky Park Highway, a few light delays northbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
From the Angell Studios, this is ESPN Asheville. WPEK, W225, CJ Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.